What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So far, so good. We've come all this way with Gotham Knight. From the very first day that we saw some gameplay surrounding the game and its opening trailer, I think I can say the game has actually come a long way in presenting what it is about to its audience. It's also fascinating to see that even as early as 2020, August of 2020, they actually had sections of the game, if not a huge portion of the game, already done. Remember, their very first plan was actually to release the game in 2021, but that did not necessarily pan out. And then come 2022, we got a release date towards the end of the game, and also information that the game was going to actually scale down on the number of platforms it was going to be released on. But there are still a few things that I need to pretty much just get off my chest. One of them is the circumstances within which Bruce Wayne is being, depicted as dead in this game. And, the explosion that must have killed him, according to the leaks, seemed to be very curious to me. Remember, I've always said that it seemed to me that one of the things that this game actually did was use some sort of a bait and switch methodology in its marketing to kind of capture the attention of audiences, and then eventually gave us their selling points, which is this game is not necessarily an Arkham game, even though it had some essence of a similarity with the Arkham games in terms of what had happened at the end of Batman Arkham Knight. But it seemed like the developers probably wanted to still tell their own story. I don't necessarily fault them for that. In fact, I think right now it's, in my opinion, if I look back and also look forward, in a sense, hindsight is always 2020. You know how they say that. I think it was actually a smart marketing tactic, in the very first place. Now, yes, they did go ahead and say, their game is not an Arkham game and all of that stuff. But if your game is being compared to the Arkham series, it is a compliment for the most part in that sense. But today's video, I wanted to talk about the other thing as well that had been on my mind as well, which is how we're going to see Jason depicted on his own. So for most of you who already know, there seems to be a pattern with the reveals in terms of the character trailers. First of all, the developers, since they started doing the character trailers, have followed it up with some gameplay scenes that they actually put together. The only one that was kind of weird, though, was for Nightwing, because after showing Nightwing's character trailer, they put together a small gameplay sequence, which was pretty much very similar to what we saw in the Nightwing and Red Hood gameplay reveal. And so that was quite odd in a sense, because we thought that they probably would have played another sequence and put it up, but it was actually this one. But they did something where they described the different moves. They went ahead to do one for Batgirl and they did one for Robin, and I'm curious if they're going to actually have one specific to Jason himself, because we've seen a lot of the other characters, and we all know we've also gotten to see Jason, but there are still those lingering questions as to how satisfactory the character is going to be at the time that they reveal to us a little bit more of his own gameplay. Because that's one thing that we're trying to still understand. Is Jason going to play in a specific way, or the gameplay that was actually shown to us, was it a demonstration to help us see some things rather than just have Jason overpower all of the enemies? Was it on purpose for him to actually maybe be hit, or maybe do some moves that we could basically see how those moves were? Those are other questions as well, because some people have said, the gameplay and the person who must have played the gameplay did not necessarily do a good job. And some people have also said, could it be that while they were doing the gameplay, they wanted to show us some other things, like how we would react to enemy attacks and how strong the enemies could be in a combat confrontation? But I think what needs to be said right now is hopefully we get this character trailer and it really does deliver what it is that we expect from this particular character. It's a very interesting, character as well. And I'm hoping that the developers are able to really, really bring the best representation that they can from their entire game structure. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys for hopping into this video and actually addressing and seeing these issues yourselves. Let me know in the comment section what you expect to see from Jason, and even from the circumstances surrounding Batman's death. Talk to me, and I'll talk to you guys in another video. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.